Welcome back to the Best Damn Nerd Show. James Kincaid alongside John Craig and Professor Chris Davis. And it didn't take long. We reacted to the He-Man Masters of the Universe Revelation trailer. We were all, despite John Craig's misleading YouTube video title, we were all, the provocateur that is John Craig. I respect you, and my hat's off goes to you for your creativity. But we were all very amped for this trailer. Thought the animation for this new He-Man series looked great. I did add the caveat that, perhaps there still is the other shoe to drop with the formerly Fat Man on Batman, the shill in chief himself, Kevin Smith. And it didn't take long because already he has been caught in a web of lies and just potentially ruining this series. Before we've even seen an episode, they took a closer look at this series. So I'm gonna play this video here on the podcast, and you don't need any of the visuals. So if you're only listening along, you won't lose anything out on this just spineless worm spinning away here. So here we go.
Return to the world of He-Man and Attorney of the Masters of the Universe was inevitable. Nothing ever dies, kids.
Oh God, scary statement there.
Is he Skeletor?
Call your champion. Hey man, I'm Kevin Smith, and today we're going to take a closer look at my new Netflix series, Masters of the Universe Revelation. This is one of the biggest selling toy lines of all time. That's predicated on affection for the property. So
yes,
a bunch of kids who grew up watching these cartoons now get a chance to re-engage with them. And so that was the reason to do it, man. Our version of Masters of the Universe Revelation was meant to address all the characters and storylines from the old show and bring it into the present, so that if you were a kid back then, every day after school watching the cartoon, it's almost like this is a continuation of that cartoon. We pick up kind of spiritually where He-Man and the Masters of the Universe left off. So at the beginning of our first episode, it plays for the first 10 minutes like, a slightly or way better animated version of the old show. It's very simple. We establish the relationships, and it's very warm and young feeling. And then about halfway through the show,
it's when it's going to suck.
Turn everything. Something happens, and we kind of grow
but it's already way better animated.
Starting where we start by teeing off from the old show, just picking up where they left off, gives it more dramatic thrust, because these were characters that were just bathed in innocence, and in our story, that innocence gets lost along the way.
Wow, what a new idea! Innocence lost
right now and stuff. The older one gets, the more one pines.
Why is he even talking about this?
Just happy in their youth. It makes you feel young when you can.
He likes attention.
With things that you engage.
Why not just let us watch it and get all this from the show?
This is Netflix and Mattel Television's gift to the world, to a bunch of people. Is like, remember how happy you were as a kid? Here's more, So there's no good reason not to bring it back. When I was a kid, I'd watch He-Man and Masters of the Universe.
Hold on, I'm talking over. Hold on, let me go back.
When I was a kid, I'd watch He-Man.
Listen.
So there's no good reason not to bring it back. When I was a kid, I'd watch He-Man and Masters of the Universe when I got home from school. From 1981 to 82, it was a ritual. When you're a kid who's going to school, and I was 10, 11 years old, I was wearing a uniform. I had no control over my life whatsoever. You dream of being in charge, having a little bit of a modicum of power. So watching He-Man the Masters of the Universe, the tagline, the most famous line from the show, one of the most famous lines of dialogue in pop culture history, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power. That's something that as a kid you're sitting there going, yeah, man, that's wish fulfillment. To be fair, I've always been a huge comic book fan.
What?
And He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, particularly the He-Man part of the Masters of the Universe, is predicated on a secret identity. It's very much Superman and Clark Kent. Prince Adam is Clark Kent. Superman is He-Man. It always appealed to me. So much so that when I got the call about meeting with Mattel, and they said, He-Man.
You cannot trust a single thing that he says.
Because I was like, all those toys that my parents wouldn't buy me, I can now play with in the form of this cartoon, and do this sprawling epic adventure. I don't normally.
So that's why he wants to ruin
things
it.
Like this.
Because he never got to play with it as a kid.
Hang out in front of convenience stores and stuff like that, or where people get turned into walruses.
That one's from Mark Tusk.
Wish fulfillment as a kid watching He-Man take power, and as an adult, He-Man gave me the power, man, to do a kind of thing that I don't normally do. I love this type of programming.
You probably shouldn't have
I've loved comic books, I've loved animation, I've loved superhero movies forever. But, you know, I'm always the guy who's like, oh, I like to watch them. I would never make one of those. It is amazing to be surrounded by so much talent and so much love for this project. Revelation in the title, Master Universe Revelation, refers to Teela's journey. Teela finds out something about her that was hinted at in the old Legacy show. And that's a kernel that we blew out and really played with in this show. So the revelation in question really has to do with Teela, and that's because if you remember the old
So he's admitting
show,
right now that the whole show is going to be about Teela. Just for everyone keeping score home. It's not a He-Man show at all.
Like
no, it's She-Woman.
Man-at-Arms and Orko, as well as Cringer.
Or
Teela, who He-Man fought side by side, and Teela, who protected Adam when he wasn't He-Man, was always left out of that. She was kept in the dark like Lois Lane. So our approach for the story was like, well, what happens if she finds out? What happens when she learns who He-Man really is? And what if she learned that not at him confessing it? It wasn't him going, you know what, I think you can handle this. It was by way of the adventure, of the epic. Something happens that kind of
like He-Man disappearing and probably not being in most of the show.
Revelations are revealed. Right. You know, when you're talking about Masters of the Universe, a big part of the franchise is right there, the mysteries of Castle Grayskull.
It's He-Man
of Castle Grayskull.
He-Man.
Secrets can have a damaging effect. That's
they use the pronoun twice. That's how important it is.
That's how masculine the show was.
It's not they, them. It's not she, woman.
But no, just wait.
What started as like, oh, that'll be fun, turned into one of the most satisfying creative experiences of my life. So much so that if they
I
were
cannot
like,
believe he would say this about any project
that he's about doing it, because I don't think
he's making it for his
satisfying
daughter.
to me as
he's not.
Masters of the Universe Revelation has been for these last 2 years.
He absolutely
Thanks for taking a look at Masters.
I want to let's roll this back.
One of the most satisfying creative experiences of my life. So much so that if they were like, you want to do season 2?
This is the guy.
I might be nervous about doing it because I don't think anything will ever be as satisfying to me as making Masters of the Universe Revelation has been.
Look, I get that you got to promote your project and stuff like that you're on, but he is one of the most disingenuous people. And I used to really like Kevin Smith too. I loved Mallrats, you know, I liked Clerks and everything like that, but he has become just such a spineless, revolting little worm. And this is the guy that said he cried, he wept watching Bill and Ted Face the Music. He posts, go down to his Instagram feed and see all the times that he says he's crying, all the times that he has supposedly cried, and you know, go back to the change of positions that he's had about like the Star Wars prequels and stuff like that. So there's a reason why I get fired up about this, because if you remember in that video that I showed, he talked about, what did he talk about? How he watched He-Man Masters of the Universe. He watched it religiously. It was tradition for him, right?
Yeah.
This is courtesy of RK.
All the time as a kid, dude.
Yes. This is courtesy of RK Outpost and Nerdrotic. This is from Kevin Smith in, I believe, was this January of the, I'm not sure what year this was, but he says, I wasn't a He-Man fan, but Gallery 1988 is running an awesome Masters of the Universe art show. Look, and then there's a link. I wasn't a He-Man fan. So he's already a fucking liar as he's in this video talking about what a He-Man fan and what wish fulfillment it was for him, and the I have the power kind of thing, and how powerful that was for him as a kid. He's such a disingenuous windbag. Okay, and here we go. This comes from Clownfish TV.
Good pull, windbag.
Clownfish said this: my understanding of Kevin Smith's He-Man series from an alleged insider. Teela is a better He-Man than Adam, and he steps aside to let her and her girlfriend take over hero duties. If true, ... this won't play well. Kevin Smith responded, as a showrunner, I really could have used these story suggestions before we locked the scripts. However, no, He-Man does no stepping aside, and Teela has no girlfriend in our show. The storyline is pretty dark and way metal. Before Revolution, we were calling it End of the Universe. First of all, way metal. Go fuck yourself, Kevin Smith. And, you know, I don't care if Teela has a girlfriend or whatever, but the part of this that I think is pretty obvious is that Teela is a better He-Man and, you know, he steps aside for her. I don't think he does it willingly. I think he probably gets captured and written out of the show in the very early going. He was talking about all in that video about how this show is going to center around Teela. And a Teela show would be fine, but call it Teela. You know, don't
tequila, maybe.
Don't bait and switch here and act like that. You know, we're gonna have to act like it's all hunky dory and this is what we wanted. It's not what we wanted. Another one. He responded to Screen Rant, a decently reputable publication online. With all due respect to Screen Rant, I've read every Masters of the Universe script for our show, plus wrote a few and viewed 4 amazing animatics. While Teela is as present as she's always been in the Masters of the Universe adventure, and she plays a big role, our series is literally about He-Man. Yeah, about him, but again, probably does not involve him very much. And he is betrayed by the own synopsis for the show. The war for Eternia culminates in Masters of the Universe Revelation, an innovative and action-packed animated series that picks up where the iconic characters left off decades ago. After a cataclysmic battle between He-Man and Skeletor, where He-Man probably gets captured and defeated, Eternia is fractured, and the Guardians of Grayskull are scattered. And after decades of secrets tore them apart, it's up to Teela to reunite the broken band of heroes and solve the mystery of the missing sword of power in a race against time to restore Eternia and prevent the end of the universe. Fine, not a He-Man show. He is just so blatantly obvious.
He keeps lying about it. But
yes, that's the whole thing. He's a fucking liar.
But the reality is, like, the show will come out, and then everyone will watch it, and then everyone will see that you're lying about what the show is about.
But he's just going to keep on lying.
It's probably better to just tell the truth, because as soon as the show comes out and everyone realizes that you're a fraud, no one's going to listen to you again. Well, actually, all your Mark fans will, because, and I don't mean Mark Truex, although Mark Truex is a Mark.
You mean like a Mark?
Yeah, like a Mark, yeah.
I think a Marky Mark.
Mark Truex.
A greenhorn.
Yeah, but essentially... Sap. But essentially, like, at this point, if you are a Kevin Smith fan on that level, like, he's appealing to, like, the lowest intellect of person to begin with anyway. So it's like he can just lie, he can just bold-face lie to you, and those people might watch the show and still be like, yeah, he was right.
It's
not about Teela.
I have no issue. Like,
yeah.
I loved the Masters Universe action figures and stuff growing up, Teela included. And this is not about Teela, and I don't want this to become something that it's not. But it's the idea that he's lying, and it's the idea that he's also he does this whole video talking about how they want to pay off and deliver a continuation of the series and things that the fandom loved so much about He-Man and Masters of the Universe. Breaking news. He-Man is the star of the fucking show, and if he's not, that's not a He-Man Masters of the Universe show that the fans are interested in seeing continued on with.
Just name it She-Woman.
You just make a Teela show. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Make another show. Call it She-Woman.
You just call it Teela. It doesn't need to be done like anything like that. It'd just be Teela, but just be honest with your audience.
As somebody naive to the storyline.
Yes, and Dis, you watched the trailer, and
I was hyped.
Your reaction was very honest. Yeah, you were very hyped, as we all were. And the first thing you said was...
Well, I don't know anything about He-Man, and now I want to watch it, because the trailer was very well done, and the music was great, but I don't know who this is about, and that's fine. But you guys are saying this is a He-Man show, but it's still called Masters of the Universe, right? To my understanding, Masters of the Universe is about a group of characters.
it's starring He-Man.
Starring He-Man. But if you title it Masters of the Universe, that was one show that did star He-Man. Masters is plural of the universe. Now, is this just a new master of the universe?
No, that's dumb. Come on, Davis.
Could it be?
Are you really going to be defending Kevin Smith and his lies right now?
I am not defending Kevin Smith. I will say that. He is a liar. He's a piece of shit.
The show is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Was the name of the show.
If that's the title of this show, that's fine.
What did he say, Davis? He said it was a continuation off of where the 80s show left off. What is the 80s show?
What is this show called?
What is the 80s show?
But what is this show called?
Revelation.
Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Because they're revealing
that
it was actually Tila
he just
time.
wasted 6 minutes of our time talking about how it is going to be this honoring of the source material and this continuation of the 80s show.
James, you just don't get it, okay? The revelation is that women are just as awesome as men.
Dude,
okay?
the
That's
revelation...
the revelation here. I don't know, like, how much do we just spell this out for you, dude? Women can be action stars.
I'm fine with that. That's the whole thing. That's what people don't get, is that Tila was great in the original show.
But that's what
and she was awesome.
That's what this is.
No, it's not. This is a bastardization of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. This is just... exactly what we like. The caveat that we gave when we reacted to the trailer last week was like, trailer looks awesome. Kevin Smith is going to find some way to fuck this up, and he's telegraphing it and lying about it.
Yep.
Okay. The original show was called what, James?
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
What's this show called? Masters
of the Universe Revelation. Is Kevin Smith not say? Kevin Smith, in his own words, said that this show is about He-Man. This is a He-Man. It should be a He-Man show,
but it's a revelation about He-Man.
But the first show was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, I get where you're going with this, Davis. If you want to defend Kevin Smith, more power to you.
I'm not defending Kevin Smith. I'm defending the direction of the show.
And then when they took a closer look at the show, he spent all that time talking about how this is a faithful continuation of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So, Suckma.
I mean, as an outsider, I would say it's a faithful continuation. I wouldn't say that he should say it should focus on He-Man. I should say, if he wants to say it focuses on the universe, the expanded universe of the Masters of the Universe, great.
While Tila is as present as she's always been in the Masters of the Universe adventures, and she plays a big role, our series is literally all about He-Man. That remains to be seen.
And I'm with you. I don't trust Kevin Smith. He's a liar. He probably doesn't even like the series. He just wants to make some money.
He didn't watch it.
Right. And
this is a grown man that claimed to have wept after watching that abomination Bill and Ted Face the Music.
But that trailer was so
The trailer was freaking awesome.
So good.
It was.
And that's why I'm defending it. Because I'm so jacked after watching that before we started. But because I can see, like...
Listen, man. And this
where they went.
Just to hammer home. No, fuck all that, dude. Like, I'm so tight. This has nothing to do. This is about this stupid Rian Johnson subverting expectations bullshit all over again. Like, I love Man-at-Arms. He was probably my favorite Masters of the Universe character. But if you give me a Masters of the Universe show, and I'm expecting it in it as it should be because it's He-Man's world and Man-at-Arms just lives in it, I'm expecting Man-at-Arms to be the, whatever supporting role he's going to be in. If all of a sudden he's the star of the show, that's a fucking bullshit bait and switch. You give me Thundercats. It's not Lion-O and Thundercats. It's called Thundercats, but Lion-O's the star of the show. Tigra's my favorite Thundercat. If all of a sudden he replaces Lion-O, a lot of fans are going to be pissed, and rightfully so.
But the first show was called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yes, that's just what they named it, Davis. You're so splitting hairs here for reasons to defend Kevin Smith. I do not know why.
I'm not defending Kevin Smith. I'm defending the direction of the show.
The direction of the show, which he is.
I'm not defending. I'm not defending his comments.
A continuation of the '80s series,
which sounds correct.
It does not sound correct at all. You are being a real son of a bitch.
It sounds like the characters are still there, and it's going to focus on a different master of the universe.
It's okay. I mean, ask me how many Highlanders are in Highlander again. You fuck.
I think there's 5.
God.
I think there's 5. From when I watched the movie.
This is getting stuck on a weird, like, semantic point.
Yes, exactly.
No, but this is somebody that doesn't know about it.
I'll give Davis credit. He has found the one semantic loophole that I feel like that they're going to try. That, like, congrats, Davis. You've given them their hill that they're going to die on. Doesn't change the fact that Kevin Smith is lying. I wasn't a He-Man fan. And then here he is saying he watched it religiously. How much wish fulfillment it was.
Let me ask you this, James. What do you think is going to take place in this show now? Now that this information is out there, what do you think?
I feel like He-Man probably gets taken off the board at the end of the first episode, and then the rest of the series is about. They say it. They say it in the synopsis. That they're looking for, the sword of power and a race against time to restore Eternia and prevent the end of the universe. Cataclysmic battle between He-Man and Skeletor. That is where He-Man gets taken off the board. Eternia is fractured, and the Guardians of Grayskull are scattered. And after decades of secrets tore them apart, it's up to Teela to reunite the broken band of heroes and solve the mystery of the missing sword power and race against on so metal, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's the revelation, is that women are.
Yes, the revelation is part of it is that she realizes who He-Man was and stuff like that. It's just again, it doesn't. What it comes down to, it's more of that subverting expectations bull. It's taking Luke Skywalker and shitting on him all over again. I'm so tired of it. And he starts out talking about, why wouldn't fans want us to come back into something that you loved as a child and then just ruin it? Like, that's what bothers me.
What if they stay true to the He-Man character, though?
How, Davis?
Then, Davis, I will come on here and I will eat crow. If it's great, I will say it's great. But I do not trust Kevin Smith. He's lying left and right in that video and online already about it. So I have no reason to give him the benefit of the doubt.
No, and I don't think you should. I think what we should do is we see the trailer, we get hyped. It's good animation. It's good. They clearly know how to get you pumped for a trailer. And so I have decent
the power.
I have a decent feeling about it, though, and I think that's what they needed to do. And Kevin Smith didn't need to say a word. That's the thing. He didn't need to say a word, and I cannot support a continuation of a He-Man show that isn't starring He-Man. Well, that's good because He-Man's not in the title, so you don't have to worry about that.
You're an idiot, Davis. All right, you're a complete fucking rube. Let's move on.